There's an old saying that goes along the lines of, you don't want to kill yourself. Instead, you want to kill what's inside of you. Throw yourself into the ocean and you'll fight and struggle to stay afloat. Because again, you don't want to die. You just want the problems inside of you to die. And when I first heard that saying, I thought nothing of it, just a cool saying, like, oh, cool. But as time has gone on, I thought this saying has a lot of meaning. So before I start, I want to say trigger warning because this is going to be a pretty sensitive topic. So I bring this all up because kind of recently I was having a bit of stress. I was stressing about my future. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm going to do with my future. Oh my gosh, I don't want to be, struggling with money, struggling with my future, struggling with stress. All these things were kind of stressing me out. And I kind of thought, or at least I didn't think, but it crossed my mind, oh, if I just ended myself, all those problems would be away. I could be free. But obviously, taking some time to reflect on it, I don't want to end myself. In fact, nobody really wants to end themselves. They just want to get rid of the stress, the problems. So for example, if you are struggling with finances and it's stressing you out very badly, the easy route, the quickest, easiest way to just alleviate that pain is obviously to end yourself, end your life. But you don't actually want to, because if you were actually given something to end your life, like if I had a gun in my hand, I wouldn't actually pull the trigger because again, I don't truly want to. Same with the guy with the finances. He wouldn't pull the trigger because he doesn't truly want to end himself. He just wants to end the problems. So you might be thinking, well, why not just attack the root cause? Why not just work harder and get more money so you don't have to, be stressed about finances? Well, it's not that simple, obviously. Because if it were that simple, everyone would, be stress-free. But it's true, if you did get rid of that problem, you probably wouldn't have the same thoughts. So for me, stressing about my future, if I were told right now, guaranteed, boom, you're gonna have a successful future, then I wouldn't stress anymore. I'd just be chilling, living life like, sitting at the beach, because I know I don't have to worry about it. Same with the person struggling with the finances. If they were given billions of dollars right now, most likely they probably, wouldn't have any more stress about money, and they would probably lose all those thoughts about ending themselves, right? And to take this kind of one step further, we don't want to end ourselves because we have hope. Because again, if I were actually given like couple like hours back when I was kind of stressing, kind of having those thoughts cross my mind, if I were genuinely given something to end my life, I wouldn't take it. Because again, I don't want to end my life. I just want to get rid of those things causing me stress, right? And that's because we still have a little ounce of hope inside of us, right? Me earlier, having those thoughts cross my mind, I realized, okay, I don't truly want to do this because deep down in my brain, in my body, I still have hope. I still have drive. I still have the belief that it can get better and I can fix these problems. And I think all the people who think similarly to me with these thoughts that cross their mind, they may not realize it, but deep down they still have that hope, right? And now I kind of want to talk about why do we have like all this stress and all these thoughts to begin with. So like I already said, we have these suicidal thoughts. Sorry for the trigger word, but we have these suicidal thoughts because it alleviates us of our stress and our pain and grants us freedom, comfort, whatever you want to say, right? Again, if you are stressed about something or something is causing you issues, pissing you off, whatever, to the point where it makes living almost painful and stressed out, then, ending yourself, like I just said, is an easy, quick solution to get rid of all that pain and just be free. No more stress, just you're done. Don't have to worry about it anymore. But of course, like I said before, we don't truly want to do that. So, why do we even have this stress to begin with? Well, that's due to the society we live in. So, I've actually talked about this in my past videos, but I want to bring it up because it's relevant here. The society we live in is slavery. Well, not by definition, but slavery made with extra steps, or it's a form of obedience, conformity, whatever you want to call it. But the way we live as a society is what causes us to have this crazy stress and have these thoughts, right? A good example, I'll just bring up school because I'm 19. I'm in school right now. I guess it's pretty fitting. I don't like school. I guess college, to be more specific. I don't like college. I think it's stupid. Really don't like it. I'm sure a bunch of people can agree with me. But to talk about college, you're spending 4 years of your life, all this money, time, energy, effort, right? You're probably going to be crazy high stressed, have all these other mental health problems, right? You're going to be depressed, stressed, anxious, because I know I am to an extent. But you're going to have all these things. You're going to be stressed about homework, assignments, all these stupid assignments that you have to do, right? You're spiking your cortisol, which is not good for your health. And like I said, all this time, energy, money, stress. For what? A degree? Okay, and then what do you do with this degree? Well, guess what? You get a job to repeat the exact same cycle. Stress, work, stress, work, stress, work. Depression, anxiety, stress, whatever. So to me, it just seems stupid, because why should I have to devote 4 years of my life spending hundreds of thousands of dollars stressing myself like crazy just for, the letter A, just for a good grade? I'm making myself do something I don't want to do, right? I make myself study. I make myself do these tests, these homework assignments, which all to me, I find serve little to no purpose. All they do is just raise my cortisol. And what do I get out of it? A letter grade, an A, that's it? So you're telling me all that stuff I'm doing, all the work that I don't want to do is just for the letter A on my transcript? Like, really? And the bigger problem is if you try to rebel or talk back, guess what? You get mocked. Even though it is a completely stupid system, you are the one who gets mocked, right? If you're like, oh, I don't like college. Oh, this is stupid. People are going to say, oh, you're lazy. Oh, you're stupid. Oh, you're childish. Oh, what are you going to do instead? They instantly resort to that because that's how society has drilled it into our brains to make it seem like college is the society is just, you have to live by it. And if you try and talk back or rebel, well, then you get ridiculed. So that way it keeps you stuck in that cycle. So for college, like I said, if I don't do the work, or if I try and talk the way I'm talking now, I get mocked and made fun of, which creates this toxic relationship, which keeps me trapped in the cycle. And on top of all of that, which is worse, after college, I have to get a job. I know, oh, it's J-O-B, but I have to get a job, which, again, like I said, is the exact same cycle. You have to just spend hours of your day doing something you probably don't want to do. I mean, you might enjoy your job, but, depending on the person, most people work jobs they don't want to do, right? The 9 to 5 jobs. You're stressing yourself. You're doing all this work that for what? Just a paycheck? Just so you look like you're contributing in society? It's just stupid, And because society has these high expectations and judges everyone on literally everything, and it's the way that society is formed, right? If you don't live up to these standards, if you're not grinding for these standards, if you're not putting in the work, whatever you want to say, you get stressed out like crazy. Like me, I'm already talking about how stupid the system and society is, but I'm still stressed about my future, right? I'm still stressed that I won't make enough money and I'm gonna have to work forever. Because that's how society is built. They keep you trapped in that cycle, so that way you just do it. And because of that, like I said, my stress is like through the roofs, and like most other people, their stress is also through the roofs. And because of that too, the suicidal thoughts cross our minds. Because again, it's just an easy, quick solution. Yes, I can attack the root cause, right? Work hard and create a good future for myself, but of course that's no guarantee. And with ending yourself, that is a guarantee. So that's why we actually have these thoughts, because the way our slave society is built keeps us trapped in this obedient, oppressed cycle, which makes us extremely stressed and anxious, which nobody likes. But yeah, and again, we as humans don't actually want to end ourselves. We just, as humans, are naturally wired to not have to go through all this stress and do all these things that we don't want to do. I mean, literally look at human history for years. Humans did not live the way we live. They didn't have this whole system, this whole structure. No, they just lived, man. They just chilled out, And that's how our brains are wired to be, right? Just live life, just chill, Not do assignments the moment you're able to talk, not stress about letter grades, not worry about how other people think about you. This is not the way our brains are supposed to be used and the way we are supposed to live. And again, because of that, it causes crazy stress because, whoa, this is like way too much. So of course, the option that we think about is that suicide. But like I always said, we don't want to die. We just want to kill those problems. So, to end on a good note here, don't lose hope. I know life is hard. Trust me, I'm dealing with some shit too. But you can never lose hope. Just stay in the present. Don't worry about the future. Don't worry about the past. Just live in the present. Stop giving a fuck about other people and just live life stress-free.